Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you very quickly how to randomize a layer or many layers position in the X, Y, and Z space. This also applies to just X and Y if you're working on a 2D composition. So this applies to many layers. It'll be very scalable as well. And the end result is going to look something like this, where I have this camera moving around, and you'll notice all these layers are randomly dispersed in X, Y, and Z. And as we move through the timeline, they do not move or jump around, they stay at their position. Let's get started. So I've set up with a camera here that'll help us visualize in 3D space our main layer, which is at 3D activated, and a background for contrast. So the first thing we're going to do is alt-click on the stopwatch for position and start writing our script. The first function is seedRandom. We're going to set it to the index as the seed, and timeless will be enabled, so we'll check true. Well, that's what we'll type in. Now we're going to create our random variables. So we'll call it xrando equals random -200 to 200, and we'll duplicate that for the Y and Z axis. Perfect. Now we want to apply that to the X, Y, and Z positions. First, we're going to create a variable to hold these X, Y, and Z just to shorten our code. So say xx equals PICKWHIP the X layer, and we'll duplicate that with YY and ZZ. Then our last line here is going to piece that all together. Now first we are going to type xx plus xrando, then YY plus yrando, and ZZ plus zrando, and close that bracket. And then when we exit out of here, we have a randomized layer, and we still have control to move it afterwards if we liked, but its position, you'll notice, has changed from prior based on the script. Now the only problem is if we duplicate this, very nice, we've got our random layers going here, completely random in 3D space, but if we want to change how they spread, we have to go into each layer and change that number manually. We do not want to do that. Let's back up here and let's create a control layer to take care of that for us. We'll create a null, call it control, move it underneath this here, bring our position back up. Now in the control layer, we'll create a slider, duplicate, and that will be for the X, Y, and Z spread of that randomness. Let's rename this for clarity. Now we'll move these sliders into this expression. So instead of -200 and 200, we're going to enter these sliders to control them. Now we're going to create variables for these sliders as well to keep things simple. So let's create them now. xctrl equals, actually first what we'll do is maximize this so we can see. xctrl equals this slider control. yctrl, PICKWHIP the Y slider. zctrl, let's PICKWHIP the Z slider. So now we've got these sliders inputted with simple variables. Make sure that says X, Y, and Z control. Now on the rando variables, let's input these values. So we'll say rando equals -xctrl and xctrl, so a number between whatever the slider is and negative version of it flipped, and then yctrl and yctrl, and -zctrl and zctrl. Perfect. This layer is ready to go. So if we move this slider spread around, likewise will our layers randomness move around. Now if we duplicate it, we've got many layers all controlled by this one layer. And that's how you do it. I'm going to post this script in the description below and a couple references to help explain and understand if you don't know how it works or why it works. so that you can take your time and review on your own pace. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you later.